Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Hey, everybody. I don't know how to smoothly transition out of that. Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Peak, where shortly after I start recording, my dog starts barking downstairs. Dog making noises. Watch ads while I check. I might be getting a delivery. I have no idea why my dog was acting up. I went down there, he was just kind of in the middle of the room, so I couldn't even tell what direction he was yelling at. Like he wasn't looking anywhere specific enough for me to like get information and help him out. So Mans was just not very helpful. Anyways, welcome back everybody to another episode of the Daily Peak. My name is Soul. I will be your host this evening, because I am doing this like a little later in the day than I prefer to, because I already hit yesterday's map yesterday. Um, and I wasn't intending to do that. Plus, I had a meeting like noon 30 ish. Um, And when I went to that, I got up a little late. So when I got to that, it was, yeah. Anyway. I am going to go ahead and pull up the game. Oh. You guys get to see my dark secrets for a little bit. Let's hope I didn't dox myself. Anyway. While I'm booting up the game, I want to remind everyone to take their meds. I actually nabbed all of mine earlier today because I took them before work. So you are actually encountering me fully medicated. We nerfed the frogs again. Hey, Landfall? Aggro crab? What does that mean? Guys, what does that mean? I didn't get to the frogs. What? Anyways. Throughout this stream, I'm going to be sipping on a lost and found watermelon candy flavored energy drink. I also have some spicy black bean burgers. And we're gonna go until I am too tired to stream. Which is probably gonna be like 2-3 rounds max. Because I did a decent chunk of work today, actually. The secretary at the church, usually makes all of the, like, printouts and such, and she has been overwhelmed recently. So I took over making the lyric sheet for the outdoor music service that we are doing, which will be shortly followed by a sports day. Fun fact. That's just gonna be like a thing that's going on in the community. I'd invite you guys, but that sounds like a great way to get fully... That's just doxing myself, is what that is. Now... I'm so tempted by the jetpack. I'm so deeply tempted by the jetpack. It's probably a better idea to stick with a normal backpack. I've been in such a peak slump. I've been in a peak valley. I want to get to the gloom. I want to see it with my own eyes. Anyway. Yeah, I did a decent amount of work today. I typed out that whole lyric sheet. Wasn't more than an hour's work, but it was a pretty thorough hour. I did a lot of Google Docs magic. Used page setup settings. That kind of thing. I have my default page setup changed to be like different, so there's more room on the page. So I always get a little confused when I have to make a document for the church, and it's like weird. Why does the thing take up so much space up there? Oh. Now we're getting a delivery. Alright, I am going to have to take a break in a few minutes then. Just to make sure that gets inside. and the dog doesn't chase them off. I don't like that they use a backup beep, because that does tell our dog that they're here. Granted, he hasn't started freaking out yet, which I do think means that he's either... Nope, there he is. He didn't hear it somehow. I was able to hear it, and I have a loud as hell fan next to me. Alright, I want to nab this amulet, because we're right next to it. And then I need to go get that package inside. Scout's Ambition. Nice. Okay. I will be right back once again. Okay. Package is inside. Love, I started so late, and they still managed to turn up midstream. Whew. Okay. Anyways, we have collected the Scout's Ambition. I'm winded. I've gone up and down the stairs too many times today. It feels lame, but also I do know that a decent portion of it is that I haven't slept a night in my life. Like, that is a decent amount of the to blame for my lack of, stamina. Like, part of it is definitely not working out. But it is also leagues harder to work out when you don't have stamina. Catch-22. And it gets solved by, me learning how to breathe. We hope that goes well. As a collective. I'm assuming you guys hope for me that that goes well. If you don't, that's kind of a dick move. Like, okay, I guess. But, like, it's a little mean. You know, I could use the sleep. I prefer if we were all thinking good thoughts about me. Gods know I have problems doing it for myself, so I can use all the help I can get. And I do appreciate all of the help you guys provide. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. So that did sound like a bunch of balloons popping, which can't be right. There we go. As I had to employ some strange techniques to get through that gap. My forbidden arts. I'd tell you guys, but then I'd have to kill you. Ooh. I think my shirt is itchy. I'm real uncomfortable. I'm mostly in the torso region. This is bad enough that I'm actually gonna change. I mentioned this the other day. Everyone has laundry to do. So I'm going through some old laundry and giving everyone else the time to do theirs first. Because I'm perfectly content being a garbage person. Also because the clothespins are heavy. And it's a separate problem. Okay, this is much more comfortable. Other shirt, weirdly stiff. I don't know, it's an old, like, promotional shirt that I got for doing something called the Donut Run. Except I didn't run it, we drove it. I just had a dozen donuts. Like, at once, it was too much. Because the idea is you're supposed to kind of visit a bunch of these neighboring towns and go to their bakeries. And you get like a dozen donuts at each one. And you can do that because you didn't do the entire run in one day, but rather you paced it out like a reasonable human person. It's not what we did. Me and my family fully went out, drove the entire donut run, and came home with like 8 dozen donuts. It's too much. My numbers might be inaccurate, like, physically, but emotionally, that was how it felt. So I don't want to get rid of the shirt, even though it is intensely uncomfortable to wear. Because it has that memory in it. And I lose memories really easily. It's half the reason why I don't like throwing things away. When I get rid of the physical reminder, the memory's more likely to slip. And I don't like it when that happens. I like being able to recall things largely at will. I don't know. I had a moment earlier because I listened to a cover of Like You, done by a trans woman, Um, and I remembered the girl who I at the time thought was my first crush. And looking back on it was probably a gender envy situation that I never really got to like. I never really analyzed deeper. Name was Sophie, I think. And yeah, I remembered some of the early fantasies I had, and that's less of a romantic awakening and more of a kind of like a psychosexual horror situation. There was some body horror involved in my various fantasies of wanting to, you know, in retrospect, realizing that I wanted to be like her as opposed to be with her. But my brain didn't know what to do with that. By the way, Pandora's Lunchbox, everybody say hi to our good friend Pandora. Now, as some of you may remember, Pandora and I met in elementary school, and we fell in love incredibly quickly. Proceeded to date throughout elementary into middle school, had a breakup in high school, separated before college. It's probably one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my life, though. And I'm very glad that I've had the opportunity to reconnect with my sapphic lover, Pandora, via the medium of the game Peak. I'm going to give the whole backstory every time. None of you can stop me. Okay, I'm not seeing the amulet anywhere just like on the ground. I do think it is in the climbing portion. Ooh, that's semi-transparent now. Didn't that used to just be like opaque? I like that. Good style. I can make this. No, I can't. Not with the wind. I firmly believe I could have made that if not for the wind. I wonder what happens if I throw a shelf mushroom at one of the fungus zombies. Like, can I get the zombie stuck underneath it? I'll say Roots is probably going to be one of the more difficult places to find any amulets. Just because of how thick all the vegetation is. Not to mention difficulty of traversal. Just finding it in the first place is going to be hard, much less getting to it. They make those big glowy pillars of light, but I don't know if it'll be enough to actually spot it by. Because if it's in a poison gas cloud or a little cove, there's not much I can do about that. I will have to be vigilant. Oh, never mind, it's right there. Well, okay, right there might be it might be a little inaccurate, but it's nearby. It's visible. Not even nearby. Oy. Okay, okay, okay. Right, that didn't go as far as I wanted it to. Okay, that's not great. Nope. God damn it. Ah. It wasn't even enough to, like, blow away any of the fog. It just got rid of my lantern. Guess I'm going without a lantern for a little bit. I got a little heat in there. I'll be fine. I probably won't be. Oh. Hi. Red. Red's good. What's red do? That's not particularly helpful right now. Okay. This isn't gonna go great. Pandora! I should've... Oh... Pandora, I forgot ye. I'm so sorry, Pandora, my love. We might just barely make it if the sun comes up now. Please? Damn it. I haven't peeked in a hot minute. Alright, well, I would like to get back to some creative writing I was doing, actually. So I think I'm gonna leave it off here on our first death, as the true Daily Peak rules do state. I would like to thank everybody who tuned in. I appreciate all of you for watching. And I will see all of you guys next time.